and motivation's crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed. You live in an external world. Everything is you gotta see it, touch it, it's external. If you can, for the rest of your life, live inside of yourself. Stop listening to people who are calling you fat, gay. Everything that is makes no sense. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you gotta flush it out. You gotta just be whoever the hell God or whoever the hell you believe in. If you believe in nothing but yourself, I don't care what it is. You gotta take everything and throw it away. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself.
When I first started working out, I would see all of these fitness influencers with these amazing physiques, and I wanted to emulate these guys because they would stay shredded year round while getting bigger year after year. And I wanted to look like these guys because when I compared myself to them, I felt like I didn't really measure up. For a lot of my life, my physique has been more feminine than masculine. Because my hormones had been all fucked up for a large portion of my life. I had man boobs, which severely messed with my self-image, and then I had to deal with acne and acne scars later on. So yeah, I saw these fitness influencers with their amazing physiques, and I saw the girls going crazy over them. I saw how other guys admire them, and I wanted to get on that same level. But what I really desired most of all was the confidence that these guys had. I would see them walking around without shirts on, with no real care about what others thought about them. And to be honest, that was in stark contrast to me because I would always try and make myself as small, make myself as unassuming as possible so that I could stay out of the spotlight at all costs. I didn't want to have any attention on me because I didn't want people to laugh at me because I had man boobs and acne scars. So I'd try and keep up with these fitness influencers and basically just start doing more of what they're doing. If their diets and their routines worked for them, why wouldn't they work for me? So I found myself just doing these random workouts that they would post on their channel, just eating these random foods that I would see them eat in their day in the life videos. And after a few years of doing this, I found that I wasn't really seeing the results that I wanted to see. Little did I know, most of these fitness influencers were just fake natties who could get away with a lot more than just a natural lifter. Because when you have super physiological testosterone levels, you're in a very anabolic state, and so your body can adapt to styles of training that aren't optimal for natural guys, and at the same time your body is going to respond better to what you eat as well. And at this point I was so pissed off because I did everything that I was told to do with the utmost attention to detail, but it didn't really matter in the end because I was being lied to, and I could never really hope to achieve the physique of an enhanced lifter when I was just a mere mortal. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I was just super pissed off, and I thought about just giving up lifting altogether, but that's when I started talking to Goggins. He began life like any other child. He was afraid of the dark and scary monsters, and he most definitely never wanted to go out hunting. He thought that the older men in the tribe were crazy for going out and risking their lives to see if they could hunt down lethal predators for fun. But when Goggins turned 7, the custom of his tribe was for him to go off into the wilderness alone and to prove his manhood by fending for himself. For the first 2 days, he got too scared to take a shot at a grizzly bear nearby, and so he went hungry. The nights were long, cold, and unforgiving as he cried himself to sleep in a nearby cabin, slowly whittling away. On the verge of death, he realized that no one was coming to save him, and that he had to take total responsibility for his own life if he wanted to make it back alive. By this point, he was ravenous and too hungry to worry about anything other than going on a kill streak and filling his belly. His animal instinct had completely taken over as his eyes developed a haze, and his heart rate slowed right before locking eyes with the bunny rabbit. Frozen at first, sensing Goggins' killer instinct, it quickly gave him the puppy dog eyes, hoping he would show mercy. But sensing no change in Goggins' expression, the bunny lunged itself at him in an all-out effort for survival. Goggins swiftly maneuvered and launched his arrow directly at the bunny without hesitation and producing an insta-kill. Like a rabid dog, he quickly ran over and consumed the bunny's heart on the spot as a surge of energy rushed through his body while he completed his quest and leveled up. Though the bunny wasn't all that filling, it provided him the fuel he needed to make it back to the village, proving his manhood. So this got me thinking, how could I make myself totally accountable to the goals that I want to achieve? You know, clearly just doing random workouts and eating random foods wasn't really producing the results that I wanted to see. So how could I guarantee my success? I realized that without a clear target, you're always going to miss the mark. And so if I really wanted to start making massive improvements to my physique, I really just needed to set clear goals and start tracking everything. You know, what gets tracked gets managed according to our ideals, whereas what we leave up to chance gets managed according to our bad habits. And so what I realized was that, you know, it was time for me to start living my life according to a set goal. You know, I can't be living out here on accident, living, you know, with no real purpose. And so this was when I started tracking everything, basically. You know, I tracked my workouts, I tracked my calories, I track my body weight, I track my body measurements, and for good measure, you know, I throw in a DEXA scan every 6 months, and I track my hormonal levels every single year as well. And what this does is it holds me totally accountable, because if I'm not seeing the results, if I'm not seeing the progress that I want to see, I can pinpoint the exact issue and, you know, how I can actually fix that. Whereas if I'm not tracking anything, you know, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And so as I began holding myself totally accountable to the goals that I want to achieve, the amount of progress I've been able to make has been miraculous. You know, I've been able to significantly improve my body composition, double my testosterone, and I've been able to do all this while, you know, I'm still eating the foods that I love to eat, because, you know, I track my calories and, you know, I can allow for certain types of foods to be incorporated. And so, you know, I wish this is something that someone else had told me when I first started, because I would be significantly further ahead than I am right now. Now, I know that some people would consider this to be an obsessive level of tracking, but to me, you know, it's just my life. You know, I've been doing this for so long that it's just become a habit, and, you know, in my opinion, the benefits far outweigh the cons. And so what you have to ask yourself is, am I a little bitch, or, you know, am I a man who's willing to live a life of total accountability? Because even though it takes, you know, somewhat of a sacrifice to live a life of total accountability to your goals, the likelihood of you know, actually accomplishing those goals improves, you know, drastically when you live such a life. And so, you know, just ask yourself, am I willing to sacrifice for my goals, or am I going to let my goals become the sacrifice? Alright guys, so I hope you liked that video, and if not, leave some comments on how I can make it better. If you're ready to start living a life of total accountability and you're ready to take that next step forward, feel free to check out, you know, my free custom workout template. It's a push-pull legs format. It's going to be in the description, and it's going to guarantee your success as you move forward in your journey. So link's going to be in the description. Check that out. And as always, keep dreaming while you're awake. Peace.
You ever wonder what it feels like when dreams bleed into real life? Seen scenes from TV get realized. Palm trees, a soft breeze, and chilled ice till tides wash away our problems in the spilled wine.